So if I stand here like this, and if I give my little intro. Hi guys, today I'm in the Lake District and I'm here with a friend of mine. You might recognise him. His name is Chris Sale. Hi Chris.
Hello mate, how you doing?
All right?
I'm very well, thanks.
So what we're doing here today then?
Well John, we're here shooting a video for my channel about developing your photographic style.
Okay, now the reason I'm taking a video as well is because I found out today that myself and Chris have different styles. He tends to opt for a telephoto lens, where, as you know from my channel, I tend to use a wide angle lens. So we're here today near the Cat Bells in the Lake District, and we're going to shoot this scene and we're going to show you our own interpretation of it.
So I've set up my shot, and what I like to do is try to keep the scene as simple as I possibly can. So we have these rocks in the foreground, and then we've got the hills in the background. Now for me, the most iconic hill in this area is Cat Bells, and so what I want to do is use the shape of Cat Bells in the background, but really make the subject of the photo the rocks in the foreground. So I'm obviously using all my standard tricks. I'm using long exposures to smooth out the water, and I tried the mist grad, which didn't really work, so I've just got a 2-stop soft edge grad on there to bring down the sky a little bit, and that's it. It's a nice simple image.
For my scene, I've chosen something different to Chris's. I've chosen to go wide and also to go in a portrait orientation. Now the reason of this is I've got a cluster of rocks here leading up to an island and then a mountain, and I feel the strong foreground and then the island with the mountain behind it would make for a good composition. I'm also using a long exposure. I'm using f9 at ISO 100, and it's giving me around a shutter speed of around about 30 seconds. So Chris, how do you think that went?
I think it went okay, Johnny. I think it was quite difficult. The conditions today are not what I'm used to shooting in. Okay. The sun's quite bright, quite a contrasty scene. I went for a composition that kind of used the rocks in the foreground here and the main outline of Cat Bells in the distance. Yeah. Now, in order to kind of make that as simple a composition as I possibly could, I was shooting at around 60mm. Right. So not with my telephoto, but above 50mm.
Yes, quite a zoomed in focal length.
Yeah, yeah.
Whereas I did a complete opposite. I went quite wide. I think I was at around about 17mm, and I used the same rocks as the foreground, but I led up to this island here with a mountain behind it. Now the reason I didn't choose the Cat Bells is I like the leading line of the rocks, and I thought that the rocks itself would be a strong enough subject to have the nice island behind it and the mountain. So take a look at the images now and let me know, how would you have interpreted the scene?
I've seen so many things. I've loved and I have lost. I felt the viper's sting. I've died 100 times, but my heart is moving still.
So if you watch Chris's channel, you'll know that he does a series of quickfire questions, and I thought I'd get my own back on him and have my own quickfire questions for him. So how are you feeling about this, Chris? Are you feeling the pressure?
I am feeling the pressure, John.
Right, okay, so let's get started. Okay, you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Long exposure or capture the moment?
Definitely long exposure.
UV or no UV?
No UV.
Photoshop or Lightroom?
Lightroom.
YouTube or book?
YouTube.
Foreground or background?
Background.
Portrait or landscape orientation?
Landscape.
And Instagram or Vero?
Vero, I think.
There we go. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, it was good. It was fun, wasn't it?
Excellent. So one other question I've got for you is, what one piece of advice would you give for somebody starting out in photography and they just want a little bit of advice to get them going?
I think my favourite piece of advice for beginners, someone who's just getting started, and it's the piece of advice that everybody always ignores, and that is simply do not obsess over gear. Camera gear has very, very little impact on your ability to capture great photos.
Yes.
The most important thing when you're starting photography is to get out there as often as you can, and it doesn't matter if you're shooting on a phone or what you're shooting on. So that's my favourite piece of advice. Don't obsess over gear, and I don't expect anyone to follow.
Fantastic, and I completely agree. When I started out photography, as you know, I had a Nikon D7100. kit lens, and I've slowly built up to D7100, still using budget lenses, but it's not about the gear at all. You know, get what we can afford and just get out there and shoot.
That's the most important thing, is get out as often as you can.
So that's it from me and Chris. Thank you very much for watching, and if you haven't already, please go and check out his channel. I'm sure you're all subscribed to him anyway, but he's not getting away scot-free. Chris is known for his selfies, and I'm not going to let this moment escape. We're going to get a selfie done, so we'll do a selfie now. Until next time, see you later.
Cheerio.
Yeah, we runners, and so we go.
So Chris is gone now, and I've had a most amazing day. I feel really energized. I'm going to feel really energized for a long time from this shoot, so thank you very much, Chris. It was a brilliant day, really appreciate it. I couldn't help but stop here by the Centennial Stone just to get a few shots, because I'm walking past it and I've got to stop. The conditions are not amazing. You know, there's a lot of cloud, the sun's peeking through at the moment, but I've taken a couple of shots of the stones. I couldn't resist, so let's view them now.
I know I've let you down. I made the same mistake. I am the worrying kind, resting my life.
So I hope you've enjoyed this vlog. If you have, please leave a like and subscribe if you're not subscribed already. There's lots more content to come, and until next time, I'll see you later.
So shall I say? That's just it for me, John. Thanks ever so much for watching. We'll see you next time. That's how you do it. That's how the pros do it.
Go, you will somehow still